Jennifer Pitcher. Decline in marine life. Not only fish are caught using these methods. When too many fish are caught, it results in overharvesting. This is when too many of one species is taken out of a particular area. It also destroys habitats. Habitats can be anywhere where organisms live. As seen on the bottom image, the net being dragged along the bottom is taking away the habitats and the organisms that live there. This is very dangerous for our ecosystem. In the picture on the right, you can tell that coral is the most threatened group with extinction, and it's mainly because of habitat destruction. Loss of biodiversity relates to the last two slides. It results when too many of one species is fished and causes an unbalance. It can result in these deaths of coral reefs or green tides. Lost and abandoned gear in oil spills. Gear left in the ocean can destroy the ecosystem for years, whether it's the turtles trapped in the net or oil polluting our shores.
Hi, I'm Maya Potter and I'll be talking about destructive fishing techniques. First off, I'll be talking about bycatch, which is an effect of fishing practices. Essentially, it's the capturing and/or killing of species that aren't meant to be caught. This results in a multitude of sacrifices of countless species that include dolphins and sea turtles in the efforts to catch a specific type of fish. One of the first examples of bycatch is bottom trawling, also known as dragging. It is the process of dragging a fish net along the seafloor, catching all sea creatures that reside in that area. It typically takes place in international and unregulated waters with the help of fishing trawlers. This technique is favored by big fishing companies because it is highly successful in catching large quantities of fish at once. It is unsustainable due to the inability to target specific species. Juvenile fish, turtles, and other inedible species are often caught and killed. Deep-sea coral forests are often destroyed due to weighted nets being dragged along the seafloor. Another example of bycatch is dynamite fishing, which is also known as blast fishing or fish bombing. It uses explosives to stun or kill schools of fish at once. It is illegal in many parts of the world, however, it continues to take place in isolated regions. It disrupts the food web of entire ecosystems, destroys coral reefs, and it's also dangerous for humans and results in many injuries every year. Another type of destructive fishing technique is cyanide fishing. This involves spraying cyanide mixture into a fish's habitat to stun the fish and catch them alive. This hurts all nearby marine organisms, and it's illegal in most countries. However, it is mostly used by the international aquarium trade. The final destructive fishing technique is ghost fishing. This refers to the effect of neglectful fishing practices. Whenever a net or other type of fishing gear is discarded or lost in the ocean, it will continue to trap, entangle, and kill marine animals and destroy fish habitats.
Destructive fishing has taken a precedence in recent years due to the fact that the average person consumes about twice as much seafood than they did 50 years ago. This has undoubtedly created some pressure on the fisheries as well as fishermen to ramp up production and has led to some destructive fishing behaviors. Some of these destructive practices used by the commercial fishing industry include longline fishing and drift netting. Both of these practices result in the capture of fish who are not being targeted and will more than likely lead to injury or death for these untargeted fish. These nets and lines will get lost floating with the ocean currents, collecting and killing fish and other marine life along their journey until they finally settle to the bottom of the ocean. The government has implemented annual catch limits, which will hopefully help reduce overfishing by regulating fishermen. Fish farms or aquacultures have also been set up to help reduce overfishing but are considered unethical by some due to the overcrowding and health of the fish being neglected. Regulations and modern data collecting for many of these fishermen will also help bring an end to overfishing. If overfishing continues, there will be more fishermen than there are fish in the sea.